special episode. It's the after school special version of Catholic Answers Live Super Show. Here on this side of me, John Sorensen, Chief Operating Officer of Catholic Answers, and we have a policy here. We introduce people by rank. So
Wait.
You outrank him?
Yeah, I've been here longer.
Oh, the man we have come to honor today, Kerry Beck. Kerry, thank you for being here. How long you been? How many years have you been working at Catholic Answers?
25.
Holy smokes!
I know, it's crazy.
So you were like what when you came here? You must have been
14.
14? So you're retiring now at 49? Don't crack him up. Come on, man. You'll ruin the whole
That's
show.
why I wanted him in here.
This is why I wanted him in here, because we all know certain things about you, but we're going to share some of them. We're celebrating Kerry today.
I came on because I'm always personified as
The guy who writes the
good
ads.
Kerry, bad Kerry,
No, bad.
crazy Kerry.
No.
I'm here to clear the air.
I only said good Kerry and bad Kerry on air because we had the other Kerry here. We had two Kerrys. So one of you had to be bad Kerry.
No, I was both.
No, you were not good. You were never good Kerry. You were never good Kerry. All right, so 25 years at Catholic Answers.
Yes,
This is
sir.
why I asked you here, John. I would like, because Kerry's leaving in days, weeks, months. What do you got left?
Next Friday.
Next Friday. That's going to be so weird.
I know, it's crazy.
I would like you to do Kerry's performance review. So I have the categories for the performance review here.
Okay.
You ready to do his performance review?
I'm ready, man.
All right. Are you ready for your performance review?
Do I get to do one on him?
No, you categorically do not get to do one on him. Punctuality. How would you rate him on punctuality?
This dude would show up before anybody every single day.
Yeah.
Like and it doesn't matter what time, no matter how early you thought you were
cannot
getting to
get here
work.
earlier than Kerry.
You can't, because he'll just
It's
somehow
not
he knows and he
physically
gets
possible.
here earlier than you, no matter what. So punctuality, he gets a 10 out of 10 for sure.
You got a 10 out of 10 on punctuality. Congratulations. How did you become the person who gets here first at work?
I don't sleep.
That's true. He doesn't.
Oh, well, this is turned into a sad story. All
He
of a
doesn't
sudden.
like. He doesn't like garlic and holy water either.
Oh, really?
No.
No.
Well, here, would you hold this crucifix, this blessed crucifix for me, and we'll see how that goes?
I'd be glad to, Si. Next.
Time management.
Oh man, I got to tell you, like when I first came here and Carl Keating made me marketing director, Kerry was kind of like a jack of all trades. But the one thing, and I used to talk to him all the time because I just hit it off with him from the very beginning. He was one of my favorite people in the office, and he one thing I just noticed about him was like his attention to detail. And I was like, man, I got to somehow get him out of like the jack of all trades position, which he was doing, great, necessary stuff. But I was like, man, if I could get that guy into the marketing department, have him full time working on marketing, that would be awesome, because you really need people like that.
I know.
And so I just, I kept bugging Carl forever. I'd go in there, hey, Carl, can I get Kerry? No. Carl, can I get Kerry? No. Finally, one day he relented, and Kerry joined the marketing team, and we just had such a blast, And it was really just me, you, and and Peggy Stenbeck came on later, but it was just the two of us doing marketing for years.
We
here.
started the social media.
Yeah,
Just
yep.
you and me.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, and
On MySpace, or what was it?
No, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all of it. Everything that we're still in today, except for TikTok. Thomas Graff started that one.
I think you might be the first person I knew at Catholic Answers.
how's that?
Well,
Because I used to
Immaculate Heart
call
Radio.
you. Yeah, you were on Immaculate Heart Radio, so I booked our authors on your show.
yeah. And you all, okay, so you are not born. So here so far we've gone through punctuality, time management, but I want to get the story a little bit. You're not born a Catholic.
No,
You're
sir.
not like, you weren't the demographic of, I'm going to spend 25 years committed to this apostolate. And really, Kerry, the 25 years that you've been here, it's a totally transformed kind of endeavor, Catholic apologetics. It was one thing, and now it's a much bigger thing.
Yeah, it's changed.
So how did you end up the guy that's kind of right there through all of that? How did you end up here?
That's a long story. Before I came here, I worked for the Bible Answer Man.
Hank Hanegraaff.
Hank Hanegraaff, exactly. And I worked doing pretty much the same sort of thing that I do here In other words, everything.
Yeah.
But wait, where was that physically? Where was Hank located?
It was up in Orange County.
Oh, okay.
It was up in Orange County.
Okay.
And at that time, I met a lot of the people that I've seen here. Tim Staples came in to.
He
debate.
really likes Hank Hanegraaff. He says very nice things. I mean, it's really hard not to like Hank Hanegraaff.
Hank's
the
a great
Bible
guy.
Answer Man.
Yeah, he is. He's a smart guy. And I met Frank Beckwith. I met, you name it, James White.
You did.
Was a good friend. Was a good friend.
I didn't know that, Carrie. I've known you all these years. I didn't know that.
Not a close friend, but a contact. We'd talk.
Yeah, uh-huh.
So, anyhow, we were going around to different churches up there. I guess you would call it church hopping. I know you guys have been talking that thing into the ground. And we went to Saddleback Community Church.
Was that before he was there, or
Rick Warren?
Rick Warren? Yeah.
No, it was
No, he
when
was there.
It was when he was there.
Okay.
And in the didn't really like their style of worship, but we in the bulletin they had an announcement for an ecumenical day of prayer at a local Greek Orthodox church, and so we started attending the Greek Orthodox church. Some issues came up on some of the Orthodox beliefs on moral issues, divorce, contraception,
Okay.
issues like that. And so my wife, around the same time, we found Catholic Answers Live on the radio. And that's at the time when it was Johnny Hocraft. It was
That's
in
a while
between.
ago.
It was in between the two Jerrys.
Yeah,
it was
Jerry
Jerry
starts
1 and Jerry version 2.
Right.
And we listened, and it was Carl. I think Carl and Jimmy did most of the shows, and we thought, wow, Catholics believe things
Did you believe?
well, no, not necessarily, but it's Catholics believe things other than what we've been told they believe.
Oh.
And it was, I think, the charity and clarity, we talk about that all the time, but it was the friendliness, the joy, just the way they answered questions. And my wife was listening to them while I was at work at CRI for Hank, and Catholic Answers was looking for somebody, or actually, rewind. She started writing Peggy Fry, who was one of the apologists back in the day, asking questions about the Catholic Church.
And Peggy would write back to you one-on-one.
Exactly.
She was great.
That was back when Catholic Answers was very, very small.
Mm-hmm.
We still had a lot of people, but it was smaller than it is now. And Peggy invited us down. They gave us magazines. They gave us books. We got to meet Jimmy and spend all afternoon in the conference room asking questions, getting questions answered. And they recommended, I think it was St. Michael's Abbey at the time, put us in contact with the Norbertines up there.
Mm-hmm.
We went there. The Norbertines, in turn, recommended that we go see a Father Daniel Johnson of St. Mary's by the Sea up in Huntington Beach. Went through RCIA.
Wow.
And he did his own RCIA class too. It was 12 weeks. You went through the catechism. Boom, you were in the church.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a long RCIA program. And after we became Catholic, I was still working for a Protestant ministry, but we were Catholic. So, our Catholic, a lot of things to remember here. Catholic Answers was looking for somebody with my skill set. Inventory
Someone who
control-
could do everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're looking for someone who doesn't require a huge paycheck and can do everything.
Was primarily purchasing, inventory control. I ran the shipping department for a while, a lot of that. And along the way, I picked up everything. Somebody would leave and I'd just take their job. So I came down for an interview. I got hired, and the rest is history.
Wow. So you moved down here then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were originally from San Diego. We actually moved up there when I got a job with Hank.
All right, I got to go back to the performance review. All right,
Yeah, let's
next
do
category, commitment to mission statement.
Oh man, I don't know. This guy is so uncommittal. He's so commitment averse. Yeah. No, he's great. He's great. I don't know anybody who loves Catholic Answers more than he does.
No. And you have a good memory, Carrie. You remember people.
What?
You remember, like
Could you repeat that?
like if I said to you like, who's that couple in Arizona that does the does radio interviews, and I'd be like,
Oh, the Greens.
I didn't know he was going to do it. Stephen Becky Green.
Stephen Becky Green,
But you
yeah.
can do that for radio people all around the country.
I've been here 25 years, Si.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean, like, that's not the same as being able to remember it. But being able to have done the job is not the same as being able to remember it. And that's a pretty good skill that you have.
It's selective. I can walk into a room and not remember why I went in there. So,
All right, I got two more
right,
categories
let's
for you
do
to
it.
rank him on, and then I'm going to go back to
do
questions for you. and
I
then
get to
we'll-
rank him.
You're not getting to do anything to him. He is
I'm
my
still gonna-
boss.
I'm not retiring, dude.
He is my boss's boss. You don't get to touch a hair on his head.
We call this exit hazing.
Okay, so the next category in Carrie Beck's performance review, hair quality.
Oh man, who has more perfect hair than Carrie
It's
Beck?
freakish, isn't it?
I'm gonna agree
I
with
don't
that.
know how old he is. I don't know, but like I feel like Carrie is going to be. He's going to be a saint someday, and they're going to go. Let's open the coffin, and they're going. He's not one of those ones where you know the incorruptibles.
Yes.
He's not incorruptible, but his hair still looks fantastic.
I'll tell you, his hair's
His hair
his
is
hair's
killing it in that
incorruptible.
coffin.
If I make it to heaven, one of the questions I want to ask to God would be, why is it that Carrie Beck has less gray hair than, or why do we have the same amount of gray hair? You hardly have any gray.
I know.
It just blows
Well,
my
you have
mind.
to work with me.
Oh, it's the other people.
It's salt and pepper, dude.
It's
It's the studios department that gives him his gray hair.
it's studios
It's not your
department.
department.
It's making my beard turn white.
Next category: political correctness.
Oh, zero. He's
Zero.
a zero.
You got a zero. I knew you were going to get
He-
low
he's not
score.
political correct. This is why this is a perfect place for him to work. Like we just, I don't think that the conversations that we have sometimes would fly pretty much anywhere else.
It is interesting that you have similar stories, though, in that Catholic Answers was part of your conversion, and so
Yeah.
you were like, "I'll go work at Catholic Answers."
Yeah.
You both did that. How much? How long have you been here?
18 years as of a month ago.
So you had 7 good years before he got here.
Yeah.
And then it's
Well,
been-
you know the 70-year itch. And
All right, so tell me some of the famous people you've worked with. Did you ever work with like really famous people like Matt Fradd?
we gave Matt Fradd a star, and Leah Darrow, and Patrick Coffin, and you.
You gave me my start and my finish. I like welcome. This is where you will die.
Part of my
Sit
job.
there.
Part of my job here is correcting people on the misspelling of your name, which happens more often than you would think.
My last name, they just only give me one T. But do they misspell my first name too? Cyril or Cy?
No,
They get that
first
right.
name's okay, but,
But
yeah, it's
nobody
always
ever
one
puts
T.
the second T on there, which we should probably just amend it and take one of the T's off.
I spell your name Sigh all the time.
you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't even know what that was, Carrie.
sometimes I'll just make sounds. You have to get used to it.
He recognizes the intentional layer of cheese there.
You ever get discouraged, like about the life of the church or like the way things are going? It's
Yeah,
25 years of this work.
Well, things have changed, obviously, in the world. People just argue for the sake of arguing.
No, they don't.
Oh,
Just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
well done. Well done.
Thank you.
There you go.
People need to learn to be quiet. In the words of the famous church father Thumper, if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all.
Do kids know who Thumper is now? Did you watch Thumper as a kid?
Saint Thumper of. Yeah. You don't know Saint Thumper?
No, it's Saint Thumper. Now you promoted him to Saint. Yeah, he's the rabbit in Bambi, and he's awesome.
I didn't even know that. I was just going.
Oh, you did? Oh, you were messing with me. Oh, yeah. So you actually have a life, Carrie. I think that's part of what it is. Like, I sometimes feel like the people who constantly need to be saying something and complaining about something and being distraught about something. I hate to use these words. No, I don't. Hate to use these
I
words.
make videos.
Get a life. Wait. Oh yeah. Do we have a video that you made? Did anybody ask? Did Bender give you a video to play? Carrie makes these.
Oh, man.
Aw. He makes AI videos.
Oh yeah. The one, where those weird videos you were doing where you were like, my favorite one was you were sitting at SeaWorld and you had like a bunch of squirrels in your hand and
Hamsters, dude.
hamsters, whatever. And then
Hamsters, dude. He says like, what are you? Don't offend the animal kingdom. Hamsters,
Follow
dude.
me at thathamsterdude.com.
yeah. So his AI video, which he's prompting it, so he had to have told it something, but he's sitting like right next to the glass at SeaWorld, and Shamu comes and does like a, cannonball right in front of him, and all this water comes and all of the hamsters wash away. And Carrie's just sitting there. It's like, what is this?
Yeah, it's funny. He made one today of the two of us. I was doing it.
And there's like a bunch of hamsters in front of you.
yeah, it's flannel shirts
And they're
on.
wearing flannel pants.
I know.
Flannel shirts.
I know. It was-
You think that was easy?
Yes, I do. I think that was easy. I think that you just prompted a computer somewhere, and it would probably was used as much electricity as a small city to produce a hamster video.
That's why my phone gets.
Oh, wait,
probably
going
why
back
my
to
phone
political
gets-
correctness, he don't care.
No, he doesn't.
No, I don't.
He don't care at all.
I don't.
So you don't feel that you got discouraged at all. You feel like somehow you just seem like the same person every day, but I didn't know if that's how you were internally.
God's in control.
Yes.
There's nothing you can do about it. Well, there are things you can do, but ultimately God's in control. So why fret about things? I think perfect example would be Elaine Fulwiler, Jennifer Fulwiler's daughter, who's going through all this horrible stuff.
Yeah.
And medical treatment, and her basic attitude is it's in God's hands. I can do what I can do, but worrying isn't going to make it any better. So God is in control. We're supposed to trust in God. Just do that.
I hear you say it like it's easy though. Like it's
Oh,
easy to know that. It's not-
I get discouraged. I overthink. I'm just like anybody else.
yeah.
But ultimately, when it comes down to that, when you get in a quiet place and you just, that's where God is, and God will tell you, you realize that's
That's my job.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got that.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of those 25 years, Carrie. A lot of
I don't remember
controversy
the
in the
first
church.
20.
You know, that's all gone. You
yeah.
do remember it. That's so funny that you remembered the Greens, right? What
I
all
did-
I said was that the husband and wife who live in Arizona, they do Catholic interviews.
Yeah,
the Greens.
Catholic Conversation,
Oh, yeah.
and their producer Jen Ellis.
Every Catholic, any Catholic with a microphone, Carrie knows them.
Yeah.
He knows them all.
I used to contact Joe Heschmeyer, and his original podcast was the Catholic Podcast, who he did with a young lady named Chloe Langer, I believe. And then I gave him his start here, and no, you gave him his start here. So.
Wait, Joe Heschmeyer?
Joe
begged.
Heschmeyer, yeah.
But I think
We all knew who he was. I just begged the most.
I have a feeling like you had something to do with me coming here, and I know you're going to be like, no.
I voted for you when we were like looking for.
There was a vote? Nobody told me there was a vote. How did Peggy vote? How did John Priscilla vote? Like, tell me their votes. I would like to know what
Everybody
they-
voted.
I know
for
your
you.
vote.
Everybody voted.
I'll
for
give you-
you. So no. I
$5 a vote. You give me for every vote I reveal to you. You give me $5.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it. It's worth it. I mean, there's 50 people here. I have $250. I know everybody who voted for me against me.
It's gonna be a hot day at the casino after work.
So, but I think you listened to Immaculate Heart Radio where I was on, and maybe told Darren when Patrick Coffin is out, maybe I could do fill in. I think maybe.
maybe that
Is
could
that
be
what
one.
happened?
That could be one of those spots that I just don't remember.
You remember Steve and Becky Green and their producer. You don't remember how I came here. Oh, it's hurtful. All right, let me give you one more.
I remember when you had darker hair and less gray.
Well,
You gonna miss that bedside personality?
I don't have as good an ability to turn it over to the Lord as you do. It all comes out in the color of my hair.
Yeah.
Teamwork, collaboration. Give him a rating.
Oh, dude, he's asked the question. Okay, so I'll
Wait
give him a
minute,
rating.
wait, he's asked the
No, because
question.
it made me think of teamwork makes the dream work. So years ago, when we still had discussion forums, for whatever reason, they turned over the fundraising part of that to
Us.
Carrie and I. And so we decided, we're like, man, we don't do fundraising. So we started like looking up on the internet the cheesiest like taglines that we could possibly find. And we were using things like teamwork makes the dream work. And I think at first people were a little confused by it, but then they started to get the joke. Like we were looking for the cheesiest lines we could possibly find. Because we're like, oh, I mean, like.
Did you raise any money?
Yeah.
Oh, you? Okay.
Yeah, I think people thought it was funny, and they, you know, they ended up donating it. The donations actually went up a little bit. I mean, not enough to cover all the cost of it. It was a modest increase, but we did the best we could. It's just that by the time they gave it to us, it was like just social media was the big thing.
Even if we don't know what we're doing, we're good at it.
Yeah.
Well,
We're good at not knowing what to do.
because you're the one evaluating.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it well right now. I'm pulling it off. But have times always been good here at Catholic Answers? I mean, have them up at times, down times, or has it have been a pretty steady ship?
The only time I can really remember that was a rough time was around 9/11. When that happened, we the staff here at the time, and there's probably only a handful of them left, we watched the attacks and the aftermath and the coverage on a 13-inch TV in the conference room with an antenna and one of the VHS decks in it. It was
I think I
really
had that
old.
TV. I know the TV you're talking about. Yeah.
And outside of that, it's been no real big issues. I mean, ultimately, I think the thing that people have to deal with more often than anything else is spiritual warfare. You know what that's like. I mean,
It's weird, huh?
constantly under attack.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a shill for the left, we're a shill for the right. You name it. You know, it's you get people saying things about you, and in today's society and environment with social media, they say them more often than they should.
Right. Well, like I can open it, like they're saying them literally right. No, nobody's saying anything mean right now, I don't think.
I bet.
But you know, it's a weird kind
The
of.
hour's not over yet.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Right.
then you start reading some of them and then realize, oh
Never
my
mind.
gosh,
Let's forget about this. Let's talk.
there's only 2 viewers. I mean,
Yeah. So where do you think, where does Catholic Answers fit into the whole thing? Where do you see the place in the world for Catholic Answers?
now we were kind of like the Grant. We used to be the thing. The if people had questions
Before I got here, is that what you're saying?
yeah. Whatever.
I know you
whatever
are.
works for you. We used to be the people went to Catholic.com, and they still do. Probably more so than anywhere else. But I'm sorry, you just couldn't help that. But there's a lot of static out there. There are a lot of voices.
Right,
There's
right.
a lot of arguments. It's people. What attracted me to Catholic Answers Live in the first place was that people were giving honest answers. We still do that. We allow you to call up, ask a question, and we have somebody that's an authoritative figure that's going to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You go out on social media and you are not going to find somebody. Well, you might find somebody, but most of what
it's
you
luck.
see,
Yeah.
most of what you see, I'll read a story and then I'll go and I'll look and I'll research it to see if anybody else has heard about this. It's not. But there's so many people I know buying into these stories, and it's just people need to chill.
Yeah, yeah. Did you? Was there a lot of arguing here in your time, about theological issues, how we should answer questions, how we should?
You know, not really. I mean, some of the most interesting conversations that you'll listen in on are the ones where you've got Trent Horn and Jimmy Akin just sitting at a table eating lunch,
I know.
talking about stuff, and you
Right.
just feel like a fly on the wall, and it's amazing. I mean, if we could capture that sort of thing on film, it would be great, but it would require hidden cameras. You know,
I often think the same thing. Like sometimes there's been
human
times,
resources kind
They
of
won't-
frowns
they
on
frown
that
on
thing.
it. But I've been in the conference room. You've
That's
probably
me.
been.
I'm good with it.
Like
Yeah, all right.
somebody just starts a conversation, and then you're like, this would literally make the best content. It's so good. And people will, not everybody's always on the same page, but there's a way in which this person's seen it this way, this person's seen it this way. You've got these big brains going back and forth, and it's exciting when that stuff happens.
Yeah, it
around
never
here.
comes to
I love it.
blows, except with Trent. I mean, Trent will wrestle you if you don't agree with him. So
Would you say he is the most reviled person who's ever worked at Catholic Answers, or are there more reviled people than Trent? Like, is he the one we like the least, or?
present company excluded.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. You said this was a roast.
Gosh. Well, thanks for being on. We turn that camera off. Oh, we don't need that camera anymore. Bye, Carrie. Thanks for coming in. John, how you been?
Not bad.
So I asked you about famous people. You told me two. Matt Fradd, Leah Darrow.
Actually,
Jason Everett was here when I started.
Jason Everett.
Mother Miriam.
Mother Miriam. My wife and I used to go with
Matt Pinto used to work here, didn't he?
Yep.
That was way before my time.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I probably the first apologists that were, or the apologists that were here when I started, were Jimmy, Carl, Jason Everett. We've seen Hector Molina come through here. Roz was, I knew her as Roz.
Yeah.
My wife and I used to go out to a local deli and listen to her as she figured out that God wanted her to be
Catholic.
Well, no, she was already Catholic.
Oh, to be a sister.
Yes, I made Mother Miriam Catholic.
You did. Good for you. Congratulations.
But as she discerned her vocation, and that was really an amazing thing to watch, and something that, looking back, I feel genuinely. What's the word I'm looking for? See, this is me getting old, and I just can't come up with the right word. It was such an honor to see this happening and see where she is now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
same thing with Jason. Jason was like a little punk kid, and
Jason Everett.
and
Now he's got a bunch of little punk kids.
And Matt Fradd was like fresh off the boat. I mean,
Yeah.
he was a young.
Can we say fresh off
hungry-
the boat? Are we allowed to say fresh off the boat, or does that go back to his
That might
zero
fit into the
political
political correctness
Yeah.
category, but
Okay.
yeah.
I'm not talking Bad Bunny, brother. I'm just talking Matt Fradd.
I don't even know what that meant, and I'm not getting into it.
You're just inviting danger here, dude.
Yeah, I mean, don't.
What do you mean our FCC license got pulled?
So, has it strengthened your own faith to be here?
Yeah.
How?
There's the daily prayer. There's just a joy of being here. I
Yeah.
mean, we laugh. We play softball together. We used to play basketball together. It's
So
turned
everybody's
into,
knees went out.
It's turned into pickleball. So
That's quite a slide.
Yeah.
Basketball to pickleball.
when we used to play basketball here 4 or 5 days a week, a lot.
I know Jerry Usher can't walk because of it. Have you seen Jerry Usher lately?
Jerry was out there all the time. I remember playing with. Look what it did to Dr. Ray. He played with us. So, but we thought we were pretty good to the point that we actually challenged a Division III college to a game.
How'd that go?
It never came to. They had a guy named Big Jimmy that was like 7 feet tall. We would have gotten killed. I mean,
So it was all perimeter shooting that game?
yeah. We were just doing it to get press.
Yeah, don't play Big Jimmy, man.
Yeah, Big Jimmy's not.
Big Jimmy, if you're out there, we love you. We pray for you. God bless you.
Thank you, Big Jimmy, for all your contributions. Was Dr. Ray out here? Did he live out here?
No,
he was in Ohio.
We actually used to produce The Doctor Is In back in the
Yeah, I
day.
know.
And he was probably out here connected with that at some point in time.
Uh-huh.
It was in his younger days.
You want to go back to his performance review, or do you want to add anything? Or?
Well, I mean, besides like our own, besides like the people that actually worked here, there was all kinds of like, I mean, we've gotten to, that's one of the blessings of this job is, I mean, we've gotten to meet people like Peter Crave, Scott Hahn.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Right.
Just all these people.
Cardinal Burke,
Yeah,
Bishop Strickland,
all these people that
Dr.
just-
David
Sample,
Anders.
Dr. David Anders.
Yeah,
He's
you
my
name it.
hero. Yeah.
I mean, a massive list of people that
Yeah.
have come through here, and not just those people. Like even people you wouldn't expect. Like the guy that played Biff in Back to the Future came here once.
Yeah.
What was that guy's name?
Biff.
Biff. That's not his real name. He's a good Catholic though. I can't remember his name.
What's his name?
Tom Wilson.
Tom Wilson.
Tom
Yeah,
Wilson.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, Tom Wilson. But then there was
We
Kevin
got close.
James
You know,
came
I
in
mean,
here.
Yeah, Kevin James.
You got your picture taken
I
with
got my picture with
Kevin
Kevin
James.
James. Robert.
He's still Catholic?
Robert Spencer.
Yep.
Kevin James is he wasn't when he came here. He wasn't Catholic. He was discerning, and he since joined the Catholic faith, and you know everybody knows what he's all about now. So
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Philip Rivers came in here one time.
Yeah.
Philip Rivers came here a few times.
Did he?
Yeah.
I only met him the once because it's for the longest time. I just worked here on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I was at home on Monday and Friday.
Well, I remember if Philip asked, what days is that guy in? I'll come in on
Yeah,
Monday
they
or
got
Wednesday.
mad because I got a bunch of Raider stuff all over. He's the quarterback for the
Like,
Chargers.
Dude, come on.
Yep.
So, what do you make of it? 25 years of this. What do you? Oh, you can't hear? Hey, we got no headphones for Carrie. Did it? Maybe it popped out on here.
I unplug something?
Carrie, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you fine.
I'm literally 1 foot away from you.
I know.
Can you- so, what do you make of it after 25 years here? What do you make of the career?
I've enjoyed it. It's been. I mean, these people are my family.
Yeah.
Brothers, sisters, and family members don't always get along, but they're still family. And I've had so many people, and sometimes I'll read an old email and I'll go, "Huh, who is that? I don't remember that person." But it's if you sit back and you think what you get to do and who you get to work with, and just kind of take that in, it's like, wow, And I did the same thing on the Protestant side with Hank and all the people that came through there. It was just, it's an amazing life.
It is.
It's
It
a
really
wonderful
is.
life.
It is a wonderful life, and it's incredible the people you've
and
worked
now, with his take on that movie, Tim Staples.
with. No, we only have a half hour
Yeah, I'm
left. So I never asked you how long you worked for Hank and how you ended up working for Hank.
4
Antigraph.
years.
So you worked for Hank Antigraph for 4 years. So how long were you an active Protestant Christian?
We started out going to Shadow Mountain Community Church, Dr. David Jeremiah, and I think I probably started listening to Hank when I was going there. And
Okay.
it was the same sort of thing. They were actually looking for somebody. I had been managing retail bookstores and doing retail work for a long time, and they were looking for somebody to handle their inventory and bookstore and that sort of thing. So I interviewed, and I was like, how can you not hire me?
That's the way I feel. That's the way I feel. It seems obvious, right?
It's that winning smile
How
and the
could you not
perfect
have-
hairdo.
No, it's the hairdo.
Yeah.
It's like
All I gotta do
we're
is
going to need
a
that
little bit
around
of this
here.
and
Lord. Does it come off or is it real?
No, it's real.
That's amazing to have a hair
Your
like that.
your hair is nice too.
He says it like he's talking to a little brother. You're going to be fine too, little fella.
you'll be okay, little-
You're good
little
too, little buddy. You don't worry about it, little buddy. So what got you to be an active Christian then?
I was raised in a Lutheran church, and we were more Sundays and Easter and Christmas Lutherans. But it was a good basis. I went to confirmation in the Lutheran church. I learned the basics of the faith, the Trinity, who Jesus was,
Right.
who God the Father was. And I wanted to know more. I'd been away from the faith. Like I said, it was kind of my Rumspringa, as our Amish brothers and sisters like to say, where I just kind of went out and lived my life. But then I was looking for something more. And it's interesting because when I started going to the Dr. Jeremiah's church, I was amazed by the tales of the rapture. They did a lot of rapture stuff. And I just sat out there in the pews and it was like, wow. It's just like, this stuff is cool. I got straightened out on that later on, but it was a way to draw me into the church and draw me closer to Christ. And it's a journey. It's a long journey for me. It's for the years before I was here. It's been a 35-year journey from where I was to where I am now.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
No, it does. It very much makes sense in this sense that, like, sometimes we're really critical of where people are. Like, oh, rapture, and God's working us all through steps. Through, we're on a path. And there's probably some stuff that's really goofy about us still. Not you, probably, but I don't want, but.
There's still goofy stuff
There's
about
still-
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's
There's
probably
goofy
some
stuff.
rough edges that need to be smoothed out. But I always love hearing that in people's stories is the way what brought us in is not, we don't come into the end of the story. We come into the beginning of the story, and the story started there. And
Yeah.
I think that's,
You know, in starting the story started much earlier. I can think back in the times when I wasn't living the Christian life. I was just kind of growing up, doing my thing. But things would happen. And I'm thinking, wow, you know, that's God. It's like I didn't know exactly what the entirety of God was, but I'm thinking that happened for a reason. Somebody is watching out over me. My guardian angel has been. He's had a tough job. I think they're bringing in a second one to help him out.
well, I'm surprised that you only have one to start with. I would have thought they would have started you out with several.
Well, my hair has
Has
its own.
angel. Okay, so all right, so the retirement is coming up.
Yeah.
What are you going to do in retirement? You're going to do the same darn thing. You're still going to come in here.
No,
I think.
one of my let me take a sip of water.
Okay. All right.
Better now. One of the primary reasons
How's
I'm
the
retiring
water?
was the water's good. It's the water. My wife and I were talking back months ago, and she's like, I really like having you here with me. And I said, you know, I really like being here with you.
Isn't that beautiful, Carrie?
Yeah,
not
it's-
not
it-
all husbands
it-
and wives say that to each other.
But we're getting along in life, and I have a choice to be here or to be there. At this point in my life, I think being there is more important. It's probably always been more important, but at this point in my life, I've realized that, and so that's where I'm going to be.
That's
So,
what that-
and I've got
that's as
I've got a
beautiful as-
couple of things lined up, so I'm not going to be sitting around doing nothing. But
I don't think you could. Do you think you could? Do you
No.
think he could sit around doing
No.
nothing? I just don't think he has that
as
talent.
as my wife says,
No.
you're going to be so bored. But
He'd probably dig it for a month or two, and then you start getting antsy.
Then we'll do the Hey Carrie's Back show.
did you miss me?
So
At hamsterdude.com.
I'm gonna let John do one more thing here, but I'm gonna tell you what's coming so that you don't because I don't want to spring this on you. But you've been here.
Special surprise guest.
No special. Well, John was your special surprise guest.
Is it
Sorry
Mark
about
Wahlberg?
that.
Is it Mark Wahlberg? Are he and Jonathan Rumi going to come on?
Yes, and Mel Gibson will be here later.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
gonna be a little late
Yeah.
today. So I'm going to turn to John. I'm going to talk to him about you for a second. While I'm doing that,
Can I listen?
You can listen, but I just don't want to spring this last question on you. I don't want you to be like, oh, I need more time to think about that. I want you to say. I want you to say.
You're thinking that I actually think about things before I speak.
I think you
but-
do. I think you do. But I'm going to ask you about 25 years at Catholic Answers, right in the midst of this whole Catholic media revolution that happened. You knew everybody that was in it. I'm going to ask you, what's your message to people? Okay, but don't do it yet. I'm going to let you. Did you die? Are you okay?
No, I'm
Oh,
listening
you're
to you.
still
I'm
there.
paying
Okay.
attention.
I thought you passed out on me.
I know
there
you're
for a
not
minute.
used to people paying attention to you, but
I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
I'm the host of Catholic Answers Live. I have nobody listens to me. Okay,
it's just because I voted for you.
I know you and Peggy voted for. Yeah. That's the two that I. Peggy, thank you, Peggy. By the way, I appreciate. I noticed that once we started talking about that, John Versillo left. So I'm pretty sure John Versillo did not vote for me when I got hired here. What would you say to Carrie? What do you want to say to Carrie after all this time?
It's
going
to be really weird coming in here and not seeing you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
18 years is. I know you've been here a lot
I
longer
put my
than that,
picture
but-
in your office.
I know, I got it. But I'm gonna miss you, man. It's been a pleasure to work with you. It's your love for the apostolate and your love for the Catholic faith has just been inspiring.
Yeah. Thank you. You're very nice.
All right, now you get to do your closing message. You sum up your entire life and career. No, you don't have to do that, but like I wanted to put it in the terms of this whole media revolution, this Catholic media revolution. You've literally it maybe started a couple years before you got
Back
here.
in my day.
Okay, oh, that's what you're gonna do. I was kind of hoping you'd give me some words of wisdom or a reflection or something about.
They say that God is in the silence. Listen to God. Find somewhere quiet. And everything is so noisy. I just Take what God gives you. Listen. If you're listening to social media and you're listening to the television and you're listening to everything that everybody is throwing at you, you're going to miss the real message, and that's what God's trying to tell you.
My goodness, did you know he was going to close it up?
That was
good?
deep, huh?
That was
pretty
actually
deep.
That's
Deep-
like one of the
deep
best things
thoughts
that's
by-
ever been said at this table. That was.
But you know,
I think you're exactly right, Gary.
I think Chris, when he has like the Lenten retreats and Advent retreats that we have here, a lot of that message comes through those. I think the last retreat we had was on
Silence.
the quiet,
Yeah.
the
Father Fadi.
silence,
Yep.
and life is too noisy. You don't have to listen to the noise. You can go somewhere, you can find somewhere quiet, and you can listen to God, and that's what you need to do. You, Cy.
I know you're right, Carrie. I take it very seriously what you're saying. And I believe it from you too because of I've seen the beauty of your own love for the Catholic Church, your own love for Jesus. It's real for you. This isn't a job.
No,
This is an
it's-
adventure.
Yeah. And now we'll all put on pith helmets.
He said pith, by the way. I just wanted to let you know.
Like how Mike Tyson would say it, or
No, no, not like how Mike Tyson would
I
say
have
it.
a video of hamsters wearing pith helmets.
You know what? If you don't now, you will by tomorrow.
No, I have one.
I'm sorry we didn't get to see the video that you made
I know.
today. So you just prompt some AI somewhere?
Yeah.
Make me this, and it does?
Yeah. So things, the ones that people see, there's probably 10 for everyone that gets shown. Well, you know, you don't want to see the ones with me with 3 arms and 15 fingers and things like that. AI's kind of got AI. You know, they talk about AI. I know this is going to kill ratings because people don't want to hear about AI, but AI, artificial intelligence, is kind of a misnomer because if you work with it, it's not always intelligent. I mean,
Well, that's
AI does some really stupid things.
yeah.
So, and you could say it's prompts, but I'm going to blame it on the AI.
Yeah.
Because I did everything right.
Yeah. Oh, I believe that. Yeah. Well, I mean, why should artificial intelligence work all the time when regular intelligence doesn't work?
Why don't we
most
have
of the time?
artificial stupidity?
Or just
I
regular,
think we do. I think we do.
just regular technology. They can make a thing that can supposedly think like human beings, but I can't buy a dishwasher that lasts longer than 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you are rough on dishwashers, man.
Misplaced priorities.
You are kind of rough on them.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Do you want to join us for commentary? Because we made a thumbnail for this episode, so we have to pay it off.
What's the
So what I do is
what's
I
the
read,
commentary?
I read you something from the news, and then you comment on it. I want you to do
Go,
that.
go for it, brother. Hopefully I know what
I
you're
can't
talking
wait
about.
for this.
Is it hockey? I
it's-
love hockey. I have a Jack Hughes man crush.
I know you love Jack Hughes right now. You keep talking about Jack Hughes, the
dude-
toothless wonder.
He loves being an American. He's proud to be an American.
Yeah, and he's
Good
got
for
no
him.
choppers. He's got no
And
front
he's
choppers.
missing teeth. He's got blood running down. He's a warrior. God bless him.
You think he's kidding? He means it. He
Oh, no, I know.
loves this
Yeah.
whole thing. He loves it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to transition to the story that I have.
What
to
is the
do that.
story?
It's about Bishop Varden. Do you know Bishop Varden?
Somewhat.
He's from. Well, you look so skeptical.
He's got a new book coming out by Ignatius Press.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Shameless-
He literally knows everything that everybody in the
I'm
Catholic
telling you,
media
one of
world is doing.
one of
You
the
can't say a name and he doesn't know what they're
no,
doing.
it's not just that though. But like to our publishing efforts, I don't know anybody that knows what's going on in the Catholic book market,
Right.
Like he does.
Right.
He knows everything that's coming out.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite book that was published here in your time? Teacher
Why
of
we're
Strange
Ca-
Things.
why-
What? Teacher of Strange. What?
Why we're Catholic.
Oh.
Where is it? Where's my
It's right here. Wow. Oh, he's gonna do an ad. Oh, you know what? You write these ads and make me read them. You should read an ad.
I read
Let's
one.
do that. Let's have Carrie read an ad. He's the guy that write. What am I gonna do for ads now? Who's gonna write them?
With over 500,000 copies sold, Why We're Catholic is the very best book you can give to a friend and family this Lent. Chad says, I'm currently a Protestant and have been considering converting to Catholicism. This book is very easy to read and explains so much. So much. That's why I don't read the ads.
I do. I read the ads. I don't do that well.
It also debunks a lot of myths many Protestants have about the Catholic Church. This book will make somebody that's truly seeking the Catholic Church, a Catholic.
Yeah.
Buy one. you
Amen.
go.
And if you
Amen.
buy 100,000 copies all at once, we'll send you a free pith helmet.
Okay, so what did Bishop Varden say?
Okay, so Bishop Varden is a Cistercian from Sweden. And
Did you practice that?
yes, I've been working all day, Carrie.
Cistercian from Sweden.
A Cistercian from Sweden. And the Pope Leo, asked him to come down to Rome and do the preaching for Lent.
Cool.
So, and it surprised a lot of people because, you know, Bishop Varden is not, he's not a cardinal. He's not one of these, you know, it's not like asking the preacher of the papal household to preach. They're talking about going to Sweden where they have, you probably know actually every Catholic in Sweden. What is there, 12 of them, 13 of them? There's not that many Catholics in
And the
Sweden.
bishop's one, so that means.
And he's one of them,
like
right?
11,
so,
yeah.
So if you count the bishop, and he is Catholic, by the way. So he's given so this is what I was going to do for my story that I'm sharing today. What did you want to, hello.
This is
Hello, Frito Bendito.
Frito Bendito here. There was some comments about wanting to show videos to the chat.
Oh, do you have
specifically
Carrie's
AI
video?
Monster videos.
Do you have my video?
If I can get a link in the document, we can show whatever.
I could probably give you a link in the document.
Okay.
I'm trying to do a show right now, but I could probably also do clerical work
Oh, we have
while we're
15
doing that.
minutes. We have lots of time.
So I'm going to get you two talking, and then I'm going to send
You know what I
him-
love about the Super Show is people get to see how the sausage is made almost.
Yeah, it's gross.
Wow, dude.
It's a messy job, but somebody's got to do it.
Well, we do these
What
long
you guys
form
do?
interviews
Oh,
now.
we made a sausage with size.
Don't eat it. It's
Yeah.
gross. We do these long form interviews, and I'll just be talking to the person, and Bender will just walk in and go, "Could you guys stop for a minute?" We're like, "What? Okay." It's a conversation. He goes, "I need you to do this or that." Okay, all right. It's the weirdest way to have a conversation, but then when he edits it, you can't even tell anything happened.
I know. It looks like we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Are we going to
Yeah.
play that on this TV? Am I going to have to roll out
You'll
of the
probably
way?
see it on that TV right there. I don't
Okay.
think we can put it on that one.
Oh, okay.
Look at how many TVs we have. This is like Sanford and Son in here, because all these TVs, that one works. This one, if you turn it on, it goes to the Hallmark channel every time. We don't know how to get it off the Hallmark channel. This one doesn't even turn on. I
That
don't know
one
why we
had
have.
Jimmy on it for like forever, and he was staring at me.
Well, then that's the thing. When this show ends, the last frame of this show will just sit there on that TV. So it's weird. Like, that's why Jimmy Aiken was there, because we were recording with Jimmy this morning.
So let me know when that time comes so I can give you a good like screenshot.
All right, so Bishop Varden told the curia that he was preaching to the other day for his Lenten preaching that the gospel is sometimes deployed as a weapon in the culture wars. And he said we should not, and this is a little bit controversial, so that's why I wanted to run it by you guys. We should not, his point was we should not be using the gospel as a weapon in the culture wars. He said instrumentalizations, you can use that, they all have PhDs at the Vatican, so you can say that. Instrumentalizations of Christian language and signs should be challenged, not just by one outrage, but by teaching the terms of authentic spiritual warfare. For Christian peace is not a promise of ease, it is a condition for a transformed society. All right, he's got a way of speaking there. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot to recommend it, but it's also you're kind of following him on threads that he does not bother to make entirely clear to you. He's trusting you to follow him, I think. But what do you think about this idea that a bishop would say, don't use the gospel as a weapon in the culture wars?
Well, my personal understanding of that is, you look at the media landscape, and a lot of people, rather than it seems like everybody's out to win the argument, and never mind the person that you're talking to, or the crowd that you're addressing, or the people who might disagree with you. There's no finesse. It's just like it's like a hammer, and they're just trying to smack everybody with it. And I feel like that's just the worst way to do evangelization. And there's no doubt we're in a culture war.
But there's lots of Catholic. I mean, there's so much anger in the Catholic world.
Yeah.
And people get mad because they're like, well, why don't these bishops stand up and fight? And here's a bishop going, yeah, maybe that's not what the gospel is. Don't use it as a weapon.
Right. Or maybe there's another, maybe fighting isn't, when we say fight, maybe there's different ways to do that. Pushing back against the cultural turns and everything that's going on. That's what I understand. I mean, without the rest of his speech and context, that's what I would take that to mean.
It's almost like sola scriptura. It's like this phrase, I'm going to say that this phrase Jesus said means this.
Right.
And somebody else on the other side is like, no. It means this.
Okay.
And you can't really do that. Jesus meant, if you want to know what Jesus meant, go to the church, go to the fathers, go to the Pope. Listen to the church.
Okay.
Sweet, short, simple.
Yeah. I know that, but sweet, short, simple. He gives himself a review. Let me review what I just said. Sweet, short, simple. I like what you said. But where does the fighting come in, though? When do we? And I'm having trouble, by the way, putting this on the document for you, the video. I don't think we're going to get the gerbil video today. I apologize for that.
Darren has it.
Get it from Darren.
Get it from Darren.
It's not like he's working in there.
We got to go out on the gerbil video now, man.
We got to pay that off. You can't just talk about a gerbil video and then not pay that off.
Yeah.
I guess that's I feel like because I don't disagree with either of you, and I don't want to pretend like I disagree with you. I actually agree with you quite strongly. But I want to get at the complaint about this kind of thing is it's just another weak bishop, weak sauce from these bishops. They won't stand up.
Well,
He edited himself. He was,
I'm going to edit.
No, the key is don't edit yourself.
I'm going to edit myself at this point in time. There are certain things that the bishops should speak on as far as the church. The gospel is one of them.
Right.
There are other things that perhaps they should probably leave to the people that should actually be handling them.
I'd agree with that 100%. I think that makes the church so much better and not worse.
Yeah.
Like when people say, why doesn't the bishop say this and this and this about political stuff? I think
because he's a bishop.
That's not his job.
That's not his job.
That's not his
Play
job.
to your strength.
And people got mad at this Pope Leo when he a few months ago said, I'm not here to do social justice or something like that. I'm paraphrasing now because I can't remember exactly what he said. I'm here to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Amen.
And I was like, yeah, that's his job description.
Yep.
Like that is the job description. If he thought that his job was to clean up the environment or fix the economies, then he's an idiot. He doesn't get that. Yeah, there are people that are supposed to do that, not you.
Yeah, we're talking about souls.
Right.
And that's where your concentration should be. And you don't need to talk about every single thing. Concentrate on what's important, bringing people to Christ, enriching their spiritual life.
Amen, Carrie.
Exactly. If we could get more people's feet through the door, then and educate them in the Catholic faith, then they can make their own decisions. Like there's all kinds of issues where well-meaning Catholics can disagree on we have to agree on the principles, but we can disagree on how best to apply those.
Right, and people will do that. If you if I do think there has to be certain moral teaching and moral education and exhortation and all of that, but if the person didn't receive Christ yet, what good is a bishop talking about politics going to do?
Right.
They don't have. We don't have.
I don't think it's a good witness to non-Catholics either. It was like, well, he's all about the political thing, or he's all about the environment,
right.
or this or that or the other thing. I want to hear about Jesus. Mm-hmm. You get that from a lot of Protestants.
Yeah.
Talk about Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. I think this Pope is going to talk a lot about Jesus.
Yeah.
I have a good feeling about that.
I feel like he's off to a good start.
I think we have a little surprise for Carrie. Go ahead. Is Frito Bendito ready to go?
Come on, Bender, you got this, man.
Bender. All right, if you're still seeing us,
Welcome
Bender
back,
hasn't done
friends.
his
Today
job.
we have, I think it's fair to say, the most unusual panel we've ever had on the channel. Carrie and his 4 hamster warriors. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
And
Glad to be off
equally
the
glad the
battlefield for a
world is
minute.
still here to interview us.
We just saw that without sound. Did the sound play out? Did you guys hear the sound or what? Because we didn't hear the sound. It's okay if the sound went out. So this is what you do, Carrie. This is what you do in your spare time. How do we get?
I don't
Welcome back,
spend a
friends.
lot of
Today we
time
have,
doing
I think
it.
it's fair to
Maybe
say, the
half
most
an hour.
unusual
It
panel
takes
we've
me
ever had
away.
on the
I
channel.
wasn't
Carrie and his
accusing
four
you.
hamster warriors. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
And
Glad to be
equally
off the
glad the
battlefield for a
world is
minute.
still here to
As I
interview
look at
us.
that, none of that is from the real world.
No.
None of that. Like not.
I didn't
one
even.
picture-
I did, when I prompted AI to do that.
Yeah.
I didn't give it a picture of you. I didn't give it your voice.
Welcome
It
back,
got
friends.
that
Today we
from
have,
somewhere
I think it's fair to say, the most unusual panel
And where
we've
did
ever
it
had
get
on the
you?
channel. Carrie and his
Well,
four
I put
hamster
my
warriors.
face
Gentlemen,
in my
welcome.
voice.
Thanks for having
So
us.
it
And
Glad to be off
equally
the
glad the
battlefield for a
world is
minute.
still here to interview us.
AI is like, okay, well, I'll put him in there, but I'm going to try to make him younger and
guys.
handsomer.
Yeah.
All right, you going to play it?
wait.
You going to play it again? Let's play it with some sound.
Sound.
1, 2, 3.
Welcome
go!
back, friends. Today we have, I think it's fair to say, the most unusual panel we've ever had on the channel. Carrie and his four
guys.
hamster warriors. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
And
Glad to be off
equally
the
glad the
battlefield for a
world is
minute.
still here to interview us.
We got Steve. We can hear Steve Ray. All right, well, Carrie Beck, you're a hero.
So are you.
You're a.
Keep up the good work.
You're the good Carrie.
Don't make me
100%.
come back here.
Okay, I won't. I don't want you to come back. I want you to
I know
rest.
people actually talk like I'm going to be invisible and they're never going to see me again. I live 2 miles away.
Yeah, but
We
we're.
live in the same community.
It's one day you're going to show up here, and
Sometimes
we're not
I
going to
sit
be here
outside
anymore.
your
though.
house in my car. And,
So that's weird because I'm doing the same thing. Why?
Oh,
I didn't
wow.
see you.
That's
out there.
why you're not home.
Peace, brother. Thank you. God
Yeah.
bless you. Thank you.
Likewise,
All right,
man.
right back with Steve Ray, Catholic Answers Live.
Peace.
Some point.
Sweat, Carrie.